The initial confrontation between Luka Doncic and Cooper Flagg on the professional hardwood was pure cinematic spectacle. The moment Cooper Flagg launched the trade that reshaped both franchises, the narrative was set in stone. A three-pointer for the Lakers, assisted by none other than Doncic himself, served as the perfect opening scene, following the most shocking transaction in recent sports memory. After a franchise-altering twist of fate in the NBA draft lottery, the destinies of these two athletes became permanently intertwined. This first epic head-to-head matchup provided a definitive answer to the question that had been haunting the league. Who truly emerged victorious from the monumental Luka Doncic trade? What follows is a comprehensive breakdown of this mouth-watering blockbuster event and the unambiguous message these two superstars etched into the very soul of the game. The stage was set, not on a themed court, but back on the traditional hardwood. A return to normalcy after players voiced significant concerns about the dangerously slippery conditions of the previous game. Yet, the significance of this particular contest was immense. It wasn't just the return of Anthony Davis, who had personally selected this game for his comeback. The deeper narrative was that of a Mavericks legend from the past, confronting the new hope delivered to Dallas by a miraculous bounce of a lottery ball. From the opening tip, Coach Kidd's strategy was clear. Prevent a fast start from Luka Doncic at all costs. He immediately threw a double team at the Slovenian sensation, but Doncic responded with unflappable calm, dissecting the pressure and setting up Austin Reeves for a wide open look. The Wonder Boy from Los Angeles was ready to feast, and he immediately served his king off a perfectly executed split screen. 3 points, nothing for the Lakers, all orchestrated by Doncic finding LeBron James. It had the flair of a classic no-look dish, splitting the defense before the effortless connection to James. Neither Doncic nor Flagg were scoring early, but both were more than happy to begin inflating their assist numbers, with Flagg finding Christie for a corner three, his favourite spot on the floor. Cooper Flagg may have felt comfortable in his new Mavericks jersey, but Anthony Davis was determined to provide a proper, bone-rattling welcome to La La Land. Davis established his seal, flaring an elbow just enough to completely discard the rookie, clearing the path for a thunderous throwdown. This was a rite of passage, a necessary lesson for any young fella entering the league. But Luka Doncic, back in the city where he once delivered a championship, was just getting warmed up. Using a down screen from his new big man, Doncic found himself with time and space, and he initiated his scoring barrage from behind the arc. The brow then gave Laker fans a flashback to his peak athleticism, finishing a lob to push the early lead to 13-10. However, Davis answered right back, calming the roaring fans with a dunk that unequivocally stated this was his domain now. It was a display of sheer swagger as Doncic navigated back into the action, splitting defenders off an Ayton screen and gliding through the lane for the easiest finish of the night. When the Mavericks doubled Doncic off the screen, he gave the rookie Flagg a masterclass on impacting a game without scoring, hitting Hayes on the short roll, who then found the open man in the corner for a successful triple. Dallas was attempting to involve their new hope, but the sheer defensive aura emanating from Luka Doncic caused Flagg to fumble the possession away out of bounds, adding to the Mavericks' growing turnover count. If the Mavericks were an old tree stump, Luka Doncic was operating as an industrial stump grinder, systematically shredding their defense with his preternatural passing vision. He found Vincent in the corner for another three-pointer, a shot that found nothing but net. It became evident that Coach Kidd was instructing Flagg to attack Doncic directly, and Flagg did his best to show Mavericks fans that defense truly wins championships. While that may be the conventional wisdom, everyone, including Luka, understands that spectacular offense is what fills the seats and pays the bills. Doncic demonstrated this by penetrating on Flagg, getting to the rim and laying it up and in. Turnovers and the psychological weight of seeing Doncic in an opposing uniform haunted the Mavericks relentlessly in the early going. The basketball itself seemed slippery in their hands as they consistently lost control. It must have pained Klay Thompson to guard the very man who inspired his move to Dallas. And despite his best efforts, he found himself failing miserably as Doncic hit a couple of head fakes, drilled a triple, and pushed himself into double figures with 10 points. The quarter concluded with Doncic stuffing the stat sheet and Flagg seemingly blinded by the bright lights of Los Angeles. The Lakers holding a 28-22 lead. Despite his offensive struggles, Flag discovered alternative avenues to impact the contest, making his presence felt on the defensive end by forcing the king himself to miss in transition. Then, against the former German Maverick, Flag utilised his massive 7-foot wingspan to block out all daylight. A statement play from the rookie point guard. Looking to keep his teammates involved, he dished a perfect pass to the brow on a silver platter, resulting in another thunderous hammer dunk that cut into the Lakers' lead. After the timeout, Luka Doncic returned to the game and immediately taught the #1 overall pick why you never put your hand in the cookie jar, drawing a foul on Cooper Flag. Like a hot knife through butter, Doncic effortlessly dismantled the Mavericks' scoring coverage, delivering a pinpoint pass to Hayes for a powerful slam. The magic of Luka was operating in overtime. Even his mistakes somehow transformed into highlights, as a loose ball found its way to Hayes, who unleashed his breathtaking athleticism for a spectacular finish. Then came the moment the fans have been waiting for. Luka Doncic in isolation against his supposed successor. The Slovenian magician showed the rookie a few veteran tricks from his NBA bag, but Flag answered immediately, bullying Vincent with a veteran-like bump before rising up for a smooth mid-range pull-up. Flag was beginning to turn up the heat, but the main event, Doncic, remained perfectly poised, seemingly just waiting for the right moment to strike. The Mavericks made it clear they would not back down, taking a 2-point lead into halftime. To start the second half, Nico Harrison watched in visible pain as Luka Doncic made Anthony Davis look foolish, trying to defend him in drop coverage, driving and finishing effortlessly over the towering big man. Flag, however, provided a dose of hope for Mavericks fans with a clever pocket pass from the elbow, giving his team the lead. On the other end, even the announcers expressed disbelief as the Wonder Boys' impossibly difficult fadeaway three-pointer rattled in. It's a rare sight to see the youngest and oldest players in the league sharing the court, and it's even rarer when the youngest player boldly steals the ball directly from his elder. Flag followed up his steal with a strong, physical play right at Austin Reeves. A moment that was less about being dirty and more about a rookie getting his lick back from the hit he had absorbed earlier in the game. Davis, determined to prove who won the trade, used his body to impose his will, knocking down a shot inside the arc. With Mavericks defenders rushing at Luka Doncic like enraged bulls, the Matador coolly went with a no-look pass to Rui in the wide-open corner. Even with LeBron James embracing his new role as a facilitator in the style of Magic Johnson. We as NBA fans must never take his enduring greatness for granted as he calmly knocked down a triple from the corner. Luka Doncic clearly could not stand the sight of another number 77 next to a Mavericks logo. He took out his frustration by slicing through the defense as if it were non-existent, bulldozing his way to the rim for a powerful score. But while the spotlight was on Luka and LeBron, Austin Reeves was quietly making a case for an all-star appearance this season, showcasing his own scoring prowess with a flurry of buckets. Coach Kidd appeared to have no counter. All he could do was watch helplessly as Luka Doncic repeatedly split his own defenders off the screen for what felt like the 67th time in the game. It was a relentless cycle of copy, paste and repeat. When the Mavericks tried to force the ball inside against Doncic, Flag made the simple, intelligent decision to find the four-time champion, Klay Thompson, in his happy place behind the arc, resulting in another three-pointer. And through it all, Luka Doncic continued to remind his former fanbase that his offensive genius can overwhelm any defensive scheme. The Stars were clearly fueled from their Thanksgiving feast, and the Lakers held a 98-94 advantage heading into the final decisive stretch. Entering the fourth quarter, both teams exchanged blows. Coach Kidd was intent on getting his young superstar involved early, and Flag responded with a bucket in the paint of a clever back screen. But amidst the Hollywood glitz, it was the man from Arkansas, Austin Reeves, who was truly setting the Crypto.com arena ablaze. He drove to the rim, drew the foul, and completed the and-one opportunity, putting the Lakers in a commanding position. With the clock winding down on the Mavericks, the main event, Doncic remained as cool as a cucumber, orchestrating the offense and creating a great look from three-point range. A truly veteran play. With Anthony Davis back in the lineup, the game also offered a glimpse of the formidable duo he and Flag could become, as Davis emphatically erased Ayton's shot at the rim. The Mavericks' offense found a rhythm when Flag was playmaking. as he delivered passes from all angles, including a beautiful dish over LeBron James to put the Mavericks on top. In a poetic moment, Davis then sent LeBron James's own shot attempt back to where it came from. A stunning defensive play. For a brief muscle memory moment, Doncic even tapped in a rebound for his former squad. But he immediately atoned for this by picking the double team apart and finding the king for a dagger three-pointer that established a double-figure lead. And for the final crushing blow, Luka Doncic gave his old fanbase a sight that sickened them to their stomachs. Toying with Anthony Davis one-on-one, drawing the foul, and sealing the game. As the final buzzer sounded, it was Luka Doncic who showed his former organisation why he was the original saviour, a point he made with a little help from his favourite teammate, leaving no doubt about the statement made on this night. In the end, the Lakers pulled away, topping their NBA Cup group with a decisive 129-119 victory over the Mavericks.